Good morning, football fans, or afternoon, depending on where you are in the country. Welcome to 3 and Out right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Football season is coming down to the end, y'all. Here we go, man. Champions have already been crowned in the NJCAA Division III, NJCAA, the 3C2AA, and this past weekend. 3 more actually were crowned because one was crowned yesterday. Who are they? We'll talk about them in a few minutes. But of course, Division II, NAIA, the two that run nearly side by side. Well, we had pretty good games on Saturday to decide those two champs. And then, of course, we had the long-awaited high school championship. And well, it came. It's what we thought it was. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed in Max Preps a little bit. Regardless, I will say that it has definitely been a great season. And, well, today we're going to be talking all about it. We had ourselves a crazy Monday night, well, 2 games there, Sunday and Monday Night Football. Yesterday, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl was a little disappointing. And today we got 3 more bowls coming up. Tomorrow we got 1 more in Hawaii. Got 3 games on Christmas in the NFL. And then we'll be back on Friday, the day after Christmas, talking about the rest. But plenty to come today. We got to break down what's been a pretty fun Week 16. Going into Week 17 now of the NFL. And again, you got to love it, right? The NFL unravels, man. as these games begin to unravel and the season begins to show who's who. Man, I just gotta say, I feel bad for the Colts because what a promising year that kind of went flat. But that's not Rivers' fault. We're gonna talk about all that in a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time to grab you something delicious. Look, I just left the gym a little bit ago, y'all. I got my shaker cup with my protein, my creatine all ready to rock and roll. Grab you some coffee, grab you some breakfast, grab you some lunch, depending on where you are in the country. Let's do this, y'all. You are now tuned in live to 3 and Out right here on iSports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sport. Welcome, all you crazy football fans out there. Welcome to 3 and Out right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Well, in typical gym fashion, I just down my protein and creatine all in one gulp right now. We're at the end of that little intro. And again, I'm telling you guys, I'm just fresh out the gym, man. Shout out to my gym comrades. I feel horrible leaving them behind today for this show, but we got to get the show done. The show must go on. So shout out to all my people over there, Russ, Rudy, Reno, great people, man. Our new homie, Troy, my boy, Chris, everybody, man, appreciate you guys getting those lifts, getting them gains. Because as Santa Claus says, y'all, no lift, no gift. Think about that. Anyway, with that said, you guys, welcome right here to 3 and Out right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Here we go. Football. And boy, we're into the fun stuff now. We've been into the fun stuff all year, but we got some real fun stuff coming up because these are the bowl games. These are what we love. These are the championships. This is what you play for all season long. And, well, let's do it. But to help me do that, as I always say, man, he's the dude, right? He's the dude who delivered an amazing show, by the way, yesterday. If you didn't tune in, shame on you. I had him on. I felt bad I wasn't interactive in the chat room, but amazing stuff. As always, yesterday delivering the cherry on top on an amazing volleyball season. And just to promote him even more, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is the real deal, the host of our volleyball show here, Set Point on IA Sports Radio. Wrapped up the women's volleyball season, getting ready for the men's starting in spring. This guy's he's the man. As first or third day winner, whatever it is. And this guy never gets cold. Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host, man, IA Sports Radio Hall of Famer, host of Set Point, our SoCal insider, does everything here but cooks breakfast. And honestly, I think he might even do that. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Teran Rodriguez, good day to you, sir. How are you today, man?
Doing good, Larry. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to talk some NFL, some college football, all this sort of thing.
All that
No
sort
holiday's
of
going to be
thing.
slowing us down.
Nope. It's Christmas time. Happy Jesus first. But enjoy yourselves, guys. Have fun. Have a good time out there. But football. Just saying, y'all. But football. So with that, man, Teran, we got ourselves a fun show today, man. It's gonna be very unorthodox. These are the shows we do like during the weeks where they're unorthodox. They're obviously not, you know, as we usually follow. These are just gonna be legit from where we left off to the next deal. And here we go. So, with that said, let's get on over, man. Let's start things up, as the Rolling Stones would say, right? Start me up. Well, let's get it going, Teran. We have ourselves some good stuff to jump on into. First things first, I just want to throw this out there to put the cap on the season because it was a. You know what, Teran? We got a lot of people tuning in right now. So I want to throw some love to our sponsors really quick, because I always make sure to do that when we get we get a lot of people at the very beginning of our show. We got to throw our sponsors up there real fast. So before we do back, but until when we get back, man, we got a lot to get into, and of course, some high school football. National champs for crown, Teran. You know who they are, but we're gonna talk about that. So all that coming up next. Stay tuned. You are listening to 3 and Out right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all of that sports. We'll be right back with plenty of football after this.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
For the last 10 years, iSports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at iSports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iSportsRadio.com. At iSportsRadio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at iSports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making iSports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. You already know what it is, y'all. iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Cheers to you out there. Enjoy you some coffee again, no matter what time of the day it is, man. It's always a good time for coffee. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. We appreciate you all. You guys are amazing. Let's get on into the goods. and talk about some football. So first things first, Taryn, I just want to get this out of the way because, it is a little unorthodox, I guess, because we're not following where we left off last time on Friday, recapping everything. But I do just want to get this out of the way because there's really no need to backtrack after this because the season's officially completely over. So again, give us a follow all over the place. Show us some love. We appreciate you all. Let's dive on into some high school football, you guys. So high school football has officially concluded, and it was a good season. Okay, good season. Just to catch you up on a few things here. DeSoto played in that 6A2 D2 bracket, and they defeated King 55-27, kind of like how we thought they would. Texas high school football there, and the other game that we were waiting for to end off the season, basically, was the amazing showdown between North Shore and Duncanville, and a defensive game it was. The North Shore Mustangs defeated the Duncanville Panthers, and that was it, man. It was 0-0 at the half, 7-0 North Shore at the end of the third, and then it's pretty crazy. North Shore scores a field goal in the fourth quarter. Duncanville scores a touchdown. Defense all day long. Amazing game. North Shore claims another title. Congratulations to these guys knocking off Duncanville, and that is in the 6A D1 championship. So congratulations. Congratulations to those teams. They played well. Hats off to them. They did their thing. In the final rankings now, really quick, is going over those. We have here Duncanville will now finish at 26, and North Shore is at 27 in the rankings. Okay, those are the final games. Last week we had, of course, we talked already about it. Buford last Tuesday defeated Carrollton 28-21, and congratulations, they won it all. But Taryn and I just had this horrible feeling, and again, I feel terrible for saying this. These are high schoolers. Get the championships where you can. But at the end of the day, Taryn, again, Bishop Gorman, they finished number 3. They were 11-1. They played some really good schools this year. The only loss was to at the time, Mater Dei. Still finished in the top 10, beat them by 3 points. It was just it was a great game, but they had a really good year. Okay, Bishop Gorman. And let's get this out of the way. Number 15-0. The 15-0 Buford. 15-0 Buford Wolves. Let's get this out of the way and say congratulations to Buford. Congratulations on a great season. They are the Max Preps national champions. Let's give them a proper one, Taryn. Let's do this. You ready for this, man? Hey. Yes. Congratulations. They earned it. They're champions. Great. And you know what? They did. But again, when your whole entire schedule is just Georgia teams, Milton, a big-time team, to start the season off, and then you really don't play anybody until Carrollton again, and it was all local talent. I mean, Mill Creek was in there too, but at the end of the day, or Valdosta, you only play Georgia teams. Kind of hard for me to put them in front of a team like Bishop Gorman, who went around the country and played some monsters, and still only lost one game and won their state championship. I don't care if their season's over a lot earlier. It is what it is. Less schools in Nevada. Yeah, whatever. Okay. But what really grinds my gears, as Peter Griffin would say, St. Francis Academy finishes number 2 at 9-1. And this was crazy. Okay, they played Corner Canyon and beat them. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Corner Canyon, yes, they're Utah champions, but they hadn't played a game in over a month. Okay, I don't know where that game even came from. And again, they canceled the IMG Academy, which was freaking dog crap. Because that was supposed to be a huge game, and I could have given them a lot more credit this year. Taryn, I can't do it. Here we are. That's how this one ends. Number 1, Buford. Number 2, St. Francis Academy out of Maryland. Number 3, Bishop Gorman, Nevada. Number 4, Santa Margarita, California. And number 5, Carrollton. Santa Margarita, okay. Bishop Gorman beat them. I'll say them at number 4. Carrollton, they lost. I would not put them behind Edna Carr, so they're at a good spot. But honestly, man, and not to try to rob Buford, but I honestly feel like Bishop Gorman was robbed. They need to be number 1. Then it needed to be Buford, and then honestly, I would have put freaking St. Francis Academy at number 5. That would have been how it would have looked. I've spoken my piece. I'm disappointed in Max Preps because I think that strength of schedule matters. But that's my piece. I spoke it. Teran, the floor is yours.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, congratulations to Buford on being the national champion. Again, the whole thing would be so easy to avoid when it comes to this whole thing if we had like a national Max Preps national championship tournament with all the great teams. Like, take all the great teams that did really well in the top 20, maybe top 16, and then have them duke it out with one another in a neutral site. Well, maybe some like home sites, and then have it at like some neutral sites, and then eventually just have it at have the whole thing at like one big neutral site. And if teams want to decline the invitation, then we'll go with the next teams that are nationally ranked, and then go down the list and so on and so forth. Or have the national tournament pretty much the size of a sizable like tournament, a sizable but passable tournament, whether it's like a 12 bracket tournament or an 8 bracket tournament or an 8-team tournament. Just have some sort of like national tournament just to determine who's truly the best of the best, so we're not like having this debate on who's truly better.
No, absolutely, Teran. I we're gonna keep on saying this until it finally happens one day, and I think it'll happen. I really do think we're gonna get some kind of mini tournament one day with these bigger schools. But this is, you're right. To avoid this kind of crap, I don't know what to say, man. I'm not trying to rob these kids, man. Sometimes some of these guys is the last game they'll play. Some of these guys, of course, they're going to go on to some big schools. Some of these guys may go on to smaller schools that never win a title, and that's okay. Congratulations to them, man. But when it comes down to it, I just feel that the better team was Bishop Gorman. I don't even understand why St. Francis Academy is up there. And I mean, and I'm sorry, that one I can't get past. I don't know why they're there. Number 5 is the best they should be. I don't get it. I don't, I feel bad. I really do. And I'm congratulating them. I really am congratulating. I'm respecting these teams, man. I am. But again, if you want fairness, if you want strength of schedule, if you want all that crap that the stupid committee in college feeds us and whatever, then this needs to be held accountable too. So again, I feel really bad. I really do. I don't want to again take anything away from Buford. They're a great football team, man, but I just don't see it. I don't see how Bishop Gorman wasn't the champions this year. I just don't see it. So it's what it is. I can't get mad, but I also don't have to be happy about it. That's not right.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you. I mean, it's totally understandable, but sometimes I guess the consequences people's decisions lead to consequences. And I mean, I totally get that Bishop Gorman has an argument, but I agree. I think St. Francis to me should be no higher than 4. I'll give St. Francis the benefit of the doubt. They did have some iffy. They did have some good games, especially since they almost beat Bosco. But I think for the sake of everyone else that just had themselves a stellar season, that played some of the big boys, I think they should be rewarded with a higher ranking. So overall, I mean, again, it's a bittersweet end when it comes to this whole Max Preps thing, but it just shows that we just need some sort of like big national tournament at the end of the season.
Cut the state championship short. You know what I mean? Make it small, and let's put some of these national powers. Now, yes, we're gonna get that whole playoff committee thing where so and so got snubbed or whatever. But at least at that point in time, we actually had a game that was a national championship game. Even if we do BCS 1 versus 2, You know what I mean? Like, even at this case, I wouldn't like it because number 1 and 2, I don't agree with. You know what I mean? So even if it was 1 versus 2, like the old BCS right now, I still wouldn't agree. I'd be mad because I'd be like, great. So Buford or Bishop or St. Francis Academy is going to win this one. And I truly feel that Bishop Gorman was the better team. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll have a little 8 bracket or what. I mean, 18 bracket, whatever. I have no idea. What I do know is this is this doesn't sit right with me. But again, congratulations. Sorry to feel so crap. To sound so crappy versus these guys. But I just truly feel that the team that played people should have won at things. You know, the team that played the most talent should have been the highest ranked, because that doesn't make any sense, Teran. You know, it doesn't. You know, you work really hard. You know, you work hard. You put these schedules together. These AADs put these schedules together. These coaches coach. These players play. You should be rewarded for who you play too. This isn't participation trophies. This is playing the better teams. You know, so I don't know. It's frustration. But anyway,
if we did have an 8-team bracket and we had the current teams nationally ranked face one another, it would be St. Francis IMG Academy. There would be no ducking anybody.
Absolutely. So there we go. Again, just a little bothered by the champion this year, but is what it is. Next year's new year. When we go back next year, it's gonna be Modern Day and St. John Bosco with number 1 and 2 again. We know that. You know, and let's see, you know, let's see who's in the mix. But I'm just again a little bothered. Regardless, congratulations to Buford. They played a great season. Congratulations. So, all right, Teran, let's go ahead and move it along. Just get a little repeat here again. 2 weeks, or basically 2 weeks ago now. Congratulations against San Mateo doing their thing this year, defeating Golden West. We got to kind of just recap these as we go. For those who haven't tuned into this show recently, they did it all. They got it done this past Wednesday. You and I talked about it on Saturday. Iowa Western takes out the Blue Dragons of Hutchinson in the NJCAA. Congratulations to those guys. Amazing season. If you want those full recaps, check out our past shows from the last couple of weeks. But really good stuff there. Really enjoyed those games, man. And congratulations to both the San Mateo Bulldogs. 3 titles in the last 4 years. And good old Iowa Western, man, just dominating, doing their thing, having a great season, defeating Hutchinson. Their new, basically, arch rivals. Really good job for those guys in the NJCAA. So, all right, Teran, let's get on to Division 3. Because Division 3 was fun. Teran, we had a good one. We had some good ones, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we? Oh my gosh, we had some good ones in Division 3. I love this. Division 3 is the place. I truly enjoy this football. Like, these guys get after it, man. I mean, they all do, but oh my gosh. All right, well, first things first, we got 2 semifinals, and now we know who the 2 teams are who are going to be playing head-to-head in the Stag Bowl. But oh my gosh. First things first. Hats off on a great year to Johns Hopkins. But oh my gosh, Teran, River freaking Falls gets it done. This was incredible. Instant classic in River Falls. They outlast Johns Hopkins 48-21 in a back-and-forth semifinal thriller to punch their ticket to the Stag Bowl. It's their first time ever. Would have been Johns Hopkins' first time ever, too. Caleb Blaha was unstoppable. 30 for 48. I mean, it's 520 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 632 yards of offense. 632 yards of offense. I mean, first things first, that's insane. That's insane. Like, that's crazy. It's video game numbers. Clutch when it mattered. Blake Raher's 79-yard touchdown with 45 seconds left sends Smith Stadium into chaos and seals a win for River Falls. Blake Raher went freaking nuclear, man. 9 catches, 236 yards, 3 touchdowns, 79 touchdowns. I mean, dude, this was crazy. River Falls went 524 yards through the air, 7 plays of 25-plus yards in this game, 5 passing touchdowns. This was crazy. I mean, Bay Harvey, 312 touchdowns. Johns Hopkins fought, man. Jeff Schroeder, 159 rushing yards, 461 total yards. This was a very offensive game. But, you know, the turning point, River Falls scores 20 points in the third quarter, flipping the game and seizing control in an freaking all-time shootout. First ever trip to the Division III National Championship, aka the Stag Bowl. From the 1996 drought to now, they are Canton bound. That was crazy. Dude, what a game.
Absolutely. I had a feeling this was going to be a high scoring affair just because River Falls had put up more than 40 points per game in their postseason games. And then Johns Hopkins nearly put 40 plus in all of their games as well. They put up 30 or more in all their games. But yeah, I feel River Falls, I think they were the ones that blinked in the second half. I think Johns Hopkins in that second half kind of blinked, and eventually River Falls got it going, and that's how they were able to pull off their little comeback and win when it came to this matchup. So I'm not surprised to see 48-41. I'm not surprised to see over 500 yards of offense, especially in the air. I'm just not surprised to see this high scoring affair just because something was going to give here. And whichever team I probably could boil down to whichever team had the ball last or whichever team had the final drive was going to win. And unfortunately for Johns Hopkins, they weren't the ones and they had to play catch up. So, and when you're playing catch up, it just does not go well for you. So River Falls is just doing it big.
Those Wisconsin, we always say it, Teran, those Division III Wisconsin teams, man. I would love to see one of those teams play a freaking Division FCS school. Like, they are nasty, man. They freaking come to play. I love it. They take down D2 schools all the time. All of them, too. Like, they play D2 schools, and they freaking knock their blocks. So, it's awesome to see, and congratulations just on a very good season for Johns Hopkins. But, man, freaking River Falls, man. Just what a year. They're headed to the Stag Bowl. Wow, I was really impressed with these guys, and I thought for sure. And it's crazy because what do you call it? Johns Hopkins had a freaking chance. It was an interception at the end. They scored and then a pick to end the game. I mean, in the last minute, in the last seconds. I mean, it was special, man. This River Falls team is special. Now we're going on over to the other side of the bracket, and dude. How about this game? This was something. North Central did what we thought they would do, right? They defeated John Carroll 41-21. The defending champs stay undefeated and head back to the Stag Bowl. 6 straight trips. This team has gone back 6 times to the Stag Bowl, man. That is insane. North Central came out swinging 28-0 at the half with 4 first half scores, including a pick 6 by Ethan Rennick. Pretty sweet. I mean, right before the break, statement made in Naperville, man. That was crazy. Big time effort. Nick, I'm going to butcher this, but Sempenfelter is in the comeback try. I mean, 30 for 47, 307 for three touchdowns. 0 interceptions. The John Carroll offense kept firing, man, but North Central never let the game flip. Teran Montgomery was a problem all night. 10 receptions, 136 yards, touchdown. He got 1 touchdown, including a 73-yard long. He gave John Carroll life. Every touch felt like a spark from this guy, but it just wasn't enough, man. It wasn't just points, though. It was production. North Central racked up 633 total yards. This is crazy. I was like Madden, dude. It was like freaking college football. On 10 yards per play average. That's crazy. 53 total plays. Do the math. That's insane. When they hit you, it's explosive, man. It comes in waves. Garrett Wilson delivered the tone setter for North Central. 3 touchdown connections. Touchdown throws to Gavin McAtee and Jack Rummel. He got 2. And then the door slammed shut. I mean, that was it. Jack Rummel, 2 huge scores for North Central. A touchdown plus a 29-yard run, another touchdown catch, 31 yards. I mean, this guy was, every time he touched the ball, he was electric, man. Every time the Cardinals needed the jolt, he delivered. This dude is like the freaking MVP. Jack Rummel is the man. So even with John Carroll trimming it, North Central answered every punch. Field goal insurance, clock control. Then the defense held firm, unbeaten, unshaken. Back to Canton they go.
Yeah, and this is what juggernaut teams do. I mean, John Carroll, let's give them some of their flowers. They had an amazing run, took down Mount Union. leading up all the way to making the semifinals. I think they just ran into a buzzsaw in that first half when it came to North Central. And I think that was pretty much the indicator that the magic had pretty much just dried up. So North Central, what they're doing is absolutely astounding. It's just amazing on what they continue to do. And they are pretty much the kingpin when it comes to Division III football. And now we're about to see what they'll do against Wisconsin River Falls.
Yeah, and now here it is. It's all set up. We got the game coming up in early January, and this is it. They got about 2 weeks off, and here we go, man. The Stag Bowl is set. We're going to have a fun preview for this one, but for right now, man, it's fun to just look at these numbers and go, wow. North Central, 6 straight trips, dude. You know dang well this team is going to come out and be every bit of that same exact team that they've been the last 6 years. But when it comes down to it, River Falls is a different team, even crazier than Mount Union. I think right now this team is coming, dude. Like this team is not playing with you. Like they are coming to battle, and I love this. So, congratulations to these schools, man. Just on a great year. They played some great football, and there you have it. So, all right, Teran, we'll get to that preview coming up in a few weeks. On to Division II, man, because we have a national champion to crown. And here it is. After a tight first half, Ferris State exploded for 21 third quarter points and nearly 600 yards of offense to pull away from Harding 42-21. Final score. The Bulldogs secure their 4th national title in 5 years and cement a Division II dynasty. Teran, you tried to tell me. I really thought that there was going to be a change to the guard this year, that Harding was going to come out and get it done. The only team in those years to win a title besides Ferris State was Harding a couple of years ago. Well, Teran, your Bulldogs that you picked, they ran rampant over the Bison, and they got it done. What a season for the Bulldogs yet again.
Yeah, and it just feels like Ferris State was inevitable, and nothing against the other teams, and Harding had a great run, but honestly, Ferris State was just absolutely legit. They just had themselves a postseason tournament to remember. They put up 40-plus points in all of their games, and even though they steadily kind of came back down to earth offensively, their defense also just answered the call. So every game they wound up winning was by 3 or more scores, which was just unbelievable. So Ferris State just had themselves an amazing postseason. Again, it just feels like they're inevitable. But Harding, they did all they could. It's just that against a team like Ferris State, you really got to play some good, clean, and mistake-free football.
No, that's for sure, man. They played well, and it was crazy. I mean, looking at the full recap, Ferris State, once again proved why the road to the Division II title runs through Big Rapids. Delivering commanding 42-21 victory, as we just talked about, over Harding. Again, this is their 4th national championship in 5 seasons. After weathering Harding's early physicality with a second quarter surge that briefly tied the game, Ferris State seized complete control of the dominant third quarter, scoring 21 unanswered points and flipping the game on both sides of the ball. The Bulldogs' offense was relentless and multifaceted, piling 585 total yards and nearly 10 yards per play, while the defense adjusted at halftime and limited Harding's vaunted flex bone attack, which is a very good offense, when it mattered most. Explosive quarterback runs, precision, passing, and a tone-setting kickoff return, which was crazy. Kickoff return touchdown broke Harding's rhythm and turned a tight championship bout into a decisive statement. So with balanced depth and championship composure, Ferris State just didn't win another title. It reinforced its status as a defining dynasty of modern Division II football, man. So again, just amazing job for these guys. They played such a good year. And I don't know, Teran, I guess the question is I think my favorite question to ask is, when I love when teams move up. Do you see Ferris State taking that jump? Because, again, it's kind of funny. You see the teams that you think would be making a jump. You see the teams that you don't think would be making a jump make a jump. Kennesaw State, okay? JMU, even though they just got destroyed. We'll talk about them in a little bit. Sam Houston, but you don't see the Bison or the Jacks, North Dakota State or North Dakota or South Dakota State. You don't see those, but you do see the other teams jump up there, and they're freaking getting it done. So the same thing in Division II. Look at what was it, West Alabama? They jumped up, to Division or to FCS, and they're actually playing pretty good. Do you ever see Ferris State jumping up, or do you see them jumping up soon, or do you think they're going to stay like Mount Union for a while and North Dakota State and South Dakota State and just keep dominating?
I mean, I'd like to see Ferris State jump, but it all depends on the money situation with Ferris State, and I think it would be great for Ferris State. And then also you have to wonder if they jump up to Division I, then all their other sports would have to jump to Division I. So it's going to be a matter of if everyone is on, if all the sports at Ferris State would be on board with jumping up, then maybe. But for now, I think we'll just keep him in Division II until further notice.
Yeah, I think so too. We'll see how it goes, but overall, just solid stuff. And congratulations again to the Division II champions, Ferris State. Man, these guys got it done. They're solid. They look good, and that's what they play for. Off to the NAIA, man, because this was another goodie. And well, I'm 0 for 2 in these championship games right here because I really thought Kaiser would get it done. Unfortunately for Kaiser, it was not their day, but it was somebody else's day. And the Grandview Vikings did it again, man. Number 1 Grandview defeats Kaiser, number 2 Kaiser, 22-16. This is Kaiser's 4th straight trip, man. And this is crazy to see them. They won 2, but they didn't win this one. But Grandview is the 2025 NAIA National Champions once again. In a gritty championship caliber battle, the Vikings outlasted Kaiser 22-16 to secure back-to-back red banners and a 3rd national title in program history. We have 2013, obviously. We have 2024, which coach's dad was a 2013 coach, so now he won in 24 and 25. So after trailing early, Grandview flipped the national championship game with a dominant second quarter, capped with Dalton Van Pelt's 80-yard touchdown run just before halftime. Kaiser responded with pressure and field position in the second half, but the Vikings defense bent without breaking, and timely strikes from Jackson Waring, which this guy is nuts, man, on a clutch kicking, by Corey Wood sealed it late. In a matchup worthy of sports' biggest stage, Grandview controlled the ground game, one-time possession, and proved why, again, the crown runs through Des Moines, Iowa. Congratulations, man. Grandview, these guys look really good, and congratulations on another title.
Yeah, this was kind of a great game. I just felt like Grandview had control over it throughout the most part. I think the big difference maker, I think the turning point of the game was Grandview getting that touchdown late in the second quarter. If they don't get that touchdown, then Kaiser's kind of feeling a little good about themselves, only being down 6-3 instead of 13-3. So I get it. Kaiser did come out swinging in a little bit in the first half or in the second half, and they eventually did tie it up. But the fourth quarter was all Grandview for the most part. And Corey Wood really redeemed himself after missing that PAT or whatever happened with that PAT.
Yes.
Regardless, it just shows that special teams does matter. And Corey Wood is a big part of the reason why Grandview wound up winning. So a great season from Kaiser, but Grandview just continues to be Grandview.
It's who they are, man. And you and I talked about that this year too. We were kind of flirting with the decision. Well, with the decision, we were flirting with the idea that, I mean, we knew that Grandview was at least going to be in the Final Four. And this is preseason, Teran. You and I are like talking NAIA preseason, and we are already like, we know they're going to be somewhere around the championship. That says a lot because we're not just, it's a long season. No games were played just yet, and we already knew how good they were going to be. Now, when it comes to this dominant play, though, I mean, obviously Kaiser played such a good game, man. Kaiser played so well. But what do you do? What do you do when the team you're playing just doesn't have a weakness? I mean, right? I mean, dude, it was a great game. And Corey Wood, you're right. Redemption there was great. both these teams are so good, man. They both deserved it. It was such a good game. I know you and I were texting back and forth watching this one. It was a really good football game. But at the end of the day, man, again, the Vikings just played. They played a little bit tougher, and Kaiser came up a little bit short. It's just how it goes. You can't skip this stuff. You gotta know that each of these teams come out and play hard, and one's got to win, one's got to lose. And unfortunately for Kaiser, they dropped it. But fortunately, again, second year in a row for Grandview. What a freaking year they had, and just what a season. I'm excited for these guys. And again, Teran, there are some teams who do come out of a lot of our teams that we have now in the FBS actually came from the NAIA years ago. I mean, do you ever see Grandview making the jump to Division II NCAA or maybe even FCS?
Perhaps. I think they would go to NCAA Division II first, then possibly jump to Division I. So I think it's definitely possible. I've seen NAIA teams go from the NAIA level go to Division II. So again, it's still going to all depend on if all their athletic teams are successful and the money. So, but for right now, I think Grandview will be kept in NAIA, but I could definitely see them making the jump.
Yeah, I think then Kaiser too. I mean, Morningside, those four teams right now are the ones. They really are. And obviously, College of Idaho really made a surprise this year. But to me, I feel like Morningside will reload. Benedictine's not going anywhere. They're not. They're really good. Kaiser, I don't think, is going anywhere either. They can get some great recruits to come play for them. And Grandview, forget it. They're going to be sticking around for a while. I think they're going to be in and around this championship for a while, man. So congratulations to these guys. Just a solid year for Grandview, the Grandview Vikings, and just great football team and way to get the victory, man. So okay, so we all finished up. We got some champions there, some championships to hand out. Off to the FCS, man. The FCS. I mean, this is fun. Gosh, I love the FCS, man. The games you get, especially in this tournament, are just it's like a delicious meal prepped and cooked, right? I mean, you just
Chef's
love
kiss.
it. Yes, chef's kiss. Like freaking 4 weeks ago, 5 now. Minnesota. Wow. Montana State, wrong M. Montana State. Those Montana State Bobcats went in to Missoula and knocked off those Grizzlies, their heated arch rivals, by 3 points. There was a repeat, but this time was in Bozeman. And what happened? Well, this is what happened. The first ever playoff edition of the Brawl of the Wild, love that name, delivered drama early, the dominance late. Montana traded blows of Montana through 3 quarters, briefly taking a 23-20 lead midway through the 3rd quarter, but the Bobcats found separation. They never looked back and did their thing, man. Montana State closed the game with 28 unanswered points. That's crazy, turning a 10th semifinal into a statement win in front of a very, very, very excited Bobcat Stadium crowd. Quarterback Justin Lamson was surgical and explosive when it mattered the most, accounting for 4 total touchdowns and igniting decisive 4th quarter surge. The defense, or the defining moment, came in the early final frame when Lamson hit Taco Dowler. Yes, his name was Taco Dowler for an 87-yard touchdown, instantly flipping the momentum and draining belief from the visiting Grizzlies. From there, Montana State's physical run game and opportunistic defense took over, capped by Brian Greb's pick 6 on the final play to seal the rivalry rout. Montana's offense showed flashes behind Eli Gilman and Michael Wortham, but turnovers and stall drives proved costly against a Bobcat defense built to punish mistakes, and that they did. Montana State outgained the Grizzlies, won the battle on 3rd down, and once again proved why it has owned in the rivalry in recent years. this time with a national championship berth on the line. So while with the win in Montana, or the win in Bozeman, Montana State advances to the FCS National Championship game, one step away from its first title since 1984. Taryn, neither you or I were alive yet. And that was the last time the Raiders won a freaking Super Bowl. So I'm glad someone's doing something since then. And carrying the confidence of a team peaking at exactly the right moment. Taryn, how about that game?
Yeah, I mean, Montana State was just, this one was going to be a grinded out game between two rivals, the Call of the Wild. I said Montana was going to win. Well, I thought Montana had some sort of chance, but Montana State really turned it up in the second half. So just goes to show that rivalry games, you never know what you can get out of them. And you have to remember that Montana's lone loss going into today was against Montana State. So even though Montana State did have 2 losses, I just think that Montana State's 2 losses kind of prepared them for this moment. And for Montana, that Montana State is still the kryptonite of Montana.
They are. And man, what a freaking game. I loved that game. I enjoyed the hell out of that one. And then on to the second semifinal. This was another fun one because a streak was broken and another streak keeps on going. Illinois State's impossible postseason run is headed to the national championship game. That's crazy. The Redbirds delivered a methodical, physical, wire-to-wire win over Villanova, controlling the tempo from the opening drive and never allowing the Wildcats' postseason defense surge to flip the script ever. Illinois State dominated possessions, converted key third downs, and constantly punished Villanova with long, grinding drives that drained both the clock and the crowd. Both quarterback Tommy Rittenhouse, set the tone early, connecting twice with Daniel Sabowicz, including a 53-yard strike to ignite the Redbirds offense. From there, Illinois State leaned into its identity. Victor Dawson churned out 155 yards on the ground on 34 carries, keeping Villanova's pass rush neutralized and the Wildcats offense sidelined for nearly 40 minutes of the game. When drive stall, Michael Corsentino was automatic, drilling 4 field goals to steadily widen the margin. So Villanova managed a late push, but then the outcome was already decided, honestly. Illinois State's defense forced third down failures, limited explosive plays, and turned once feared Wildcats unit into a one-dimensional kind of deal. It was crazy. It was freaking crazy. I couldn't believe that. For a team that entered the playoffs as an underdog after a 4-3 start, the Redbirds have now knocked off North Dakota State, UC Davis, and now Villanova. 3 straight road wins to earn a place on college football's biggest FCS stage. Taryn, they're the only team to ever win 4 straight road games in this tournament. Illinois State is headed to Nashville with momentum, belief, and a legitimate shot at its first national championship. This one's going to be fun.
Yeah, Illinois State is the Cinderella of this whole tournament. It's just unbelievable that they just continue to build off of every single win that they pull off. I mean, it was one thing with the North Dakota State win, and then they went down west to UC Davis, and now they snapped Villanova's home winning streak, and now they're off to the national championship. It's really astounding to see Illinois State just playing its best football as of late. And they're averaging about 30-ish points per game. And the fact that they're doing that at this level is just unbelievable. And you got to remember that this was a team that played in the opening round. They were in the play-in round. Well, not the play-in round, but you know what I mean. The first round, and then they had to go through the second round and then the quarterfinals and the semifinals. So they're one win away from completing the Cinderella story, but Montana State's going to be a tough task ahead of them, especially since Montana State is hungry for a national championship themselves. And this would probably be the year for either of these teams, just because you never know what North Dakota State could get next year in terms of their recruits and whatnot.
Which is so true, man. I mean, I really the Redbirds. You and I didn't even talk about them at all. I mean, this is why we play the game, right? I love it. This was special. this was it's been special. It's been a special run, and I don't know, man. It's really cool to not see. It's kind of mean to say this, but it's really nice to see new teams, right? Versus
Oh,
North
yeah.
Dakota State and South Dakota State. Right now, man. I mean, this is going to be a hard one. I'm not asking you to pick, but as of right now, who would you be leaning towards and why?
Oh, man.
I know.
I mean, on one hand, Montana State is looking really good just because, but they had that close call with Yale. I would say Illinois State based off of their consistent offense.
It's not easy to pick. This is a really, really, really hard game to pick because they're so close. They're so close. You know what I mean? Like, they're so damn close, and it sucks that one of these teams have to lose. I hate that. I want them both to win. You know, I really do. I genuinely want both teams to win. Like, I like these teams. I think they're both very good football teams. And you know, after freaking North Dakota State and South Dakota State, we're hogging them all, mostly North Dakota State. It's kind of nice. You know, I'd like to see new champs, and it sucks that one of these teams has to do it all over again next year, you know, and obviously they both do if they want another title, but I guess I would like to see man, I don't know. I would like to see both these teams win a title within the next couple of years because they both earned it, man. I don't know. I feel like the Redbirds, the recruiting is going to get better. I really do. They're going to get better. This is doing a lot for their recruiting. That's for dang sure. But dude, oh, what a good one. What a good year. Salute to you, good sir. Mr. Marcus Lowe is great. We appreciate you, sir. Merry Christmas to you and your family, good sir. Thank you very much. It's just one of those things where you gotta say, hey, you know, may the best team win, and that's true. That pit in your stomach, like that old Dick's football commercial, Dick's Sporting Goods football commercial, where it says, you know, fuel it with fire, because that's what you got to do. You know, we lost Teran. He'll be right back. But fuel it with fire, you know, that pit in your stomach, fuel it with fire. And it's the truth, man. So I'm excited for this. This is going to be a really, really good game. I am so excited for what's to come. Oh, we got Teran back.
Sorry.
It's all good. I'm really excited for this game, and it's going to be a fun one. So anyway, we'll get that preview when it's time. But as of right now, Teran, it's time for us. We got about 3 minutes to our next bowl game. So we got to do some pick'ems real quick there. But just do a quick little recap. As a matter of fact, Teran, before this one starts in the 5 minutes, let's do a quick little pick for this next game coming on up in just a few moments, actually. Again, this is Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025. And next up, we have the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl. The 8-4 Toledo Rockets taking on the 8-4 Louisville Cardinal. This one's fun. Quick pick 'em again. This is two teams going head-to-head that are like a carbon copy of one another. This matchup pits Toledo's physical balanced MAC attack against an ACC roster with superior depth and speed. The Rockets want to control the game behind Cameron Trayanum, while quarterback play and red zone efficiency will be key against Louisville's defense that thrives on pressure and field possession. Louisville's counters with Miller Moss, who has protected the ball well this season, and a defense built to limit explosive plays. An important factor against Toledo, wide out, we have Jerwan Newton III, one of the most productive receivers outside of the powerhouse conferences. If Toledo can shorten the game, they can hang around. If Louisville jumps out early, the talent gap could show quickly. So, I mean, I think they're a carbon copy up to a certain point. But it's true. If Louisville gets up early, I think this one's over. So the key question for me is can Toledo's run game keep Moss on the sideline long enough to stay within striking distance, really? So those are my thoughts on this one. Oh, this is a hard game to pick, but I feel like Louisville's going to get up early. Well, not early, but when they get up, they're going to stay up. So those are my thoughts. Teran, your thoughts?
Yeah, I got Louisville winning this one. Miller Moss, as you and I probably know, he is a former USC quarterback.
Yep.
And I hate how he got done dirty. I think Miller Moss and Louisville is going to score early and often. I would be surprised if Toledo kept it close. If Toledo loses by less than 3 scores, then that's a win for them. But I really am confident in Louisville. I think Louisville being battle tested from the ACC helps them. So give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I feel like Louisville's just better, and yeah, I know it sucks for Miller Moss, man. I liked him. It sucks, but this is what happens. It's
Thanks,
football.
Lincoln.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those deals, But anyway, Darren, you and I finished off on Saturday morning, and well, here we are now recapping everything that went on from this past weekend. So we left off right as this game was starting, and let's do it. Let's jump on into our first college football. Whoops, there we go. Sorry. Our first college football game, our first round, college football playoff for here. And, it was fun, I guess. It was fun to watch. It was a defensive game, but in a game that felt like a throwback defensive slugfest, Miami punched its ticket to the college football playoff quarterfinals by winning a 10-3 rock fight at Kyle Field. The Hurricanes didn't score a touchdown until the final 2 minutes, but their defense controlled right from the start. I mean, it really did. I mean, I feel like from start to finish, forcing 3 Texas A&M turnovers and sealing the game with a late end zone interception in front of a freaking ton of people, So Miami quarterback Carson Beck was efficient when it mattered most, while Mark Fletcher Jr. powered the offense with 172 yards, flipping field possession and setting up the decisive score. So Texas A&M moved the ball between the 20s, but couldn't finish drives, managing just a single field goal despite the winning time possession. So in a game that delivered pressure, discipline, and patience, Miami made plays when it mattered most, and they got it done. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think for this game, it was kind of an ugly yet weird game, especially with the wins. But oh man, Texas A&M, they played maybe their worst game, I think this game was definitely winnable, especially since Marcel Reed had a chance to tie it up. But unfortunately, he threw a pick in the end zone to seal off the game. I just think that, and Texas A&M should have won this one, but all credit goes to Miami. They wound up winning maybe the most ugliest game on the road, and they did that. So I think for Miami, it's a big win. They silenced all of the critics saying, oh, their schedule's too soft, or they're frauds, or they don't belong here. So yeah, and I kind of feel Texas A&M was the same thing. I mean, they were good. They beat Notre Dame, but same can be said for Miami. So I think for one of these teams, they had to prove themselves. This was the Prove Yourself Bowl in terms of the college football playoff. So I think for Miami, they proved themselves, and now they'll get a chance to hopefully take down the Ohio State.
Well, we'll see. But yeah, that's a tall order. But I'll tell you, man, this is gonna be a fun one, fun game moving forward. I really am excited for this one. But we're go right now. I'll get the Boca Raton Bowl on, ready to watch it while we move into the show. But yeah, Teran, good stuff there. Moving on to the next game. Ole Miss made a loud statement on its home field. I mean, granted, it was Tulane, but overwhelming Tulane with 41-10 to advance the college football quarterfinals. The Rebels struck early and struck quickly, and the with 2 first quarter touchdowns, and never let the Green Wave settle in. Pairing explosive offense with timely defensive pressure, Trinidad Chambliss orchestrated the attack with efficiency through the air and damage on the ground game, accounting for multiple touchdowns as Ole Miss piled up nearly 500 yards. So Tulane showed fight behind Jack Retzlaff, but who threw for over 300 yards, but turnovers and stalled fourth down attempts just proved to be very costly against a disciplined Rebel defense. So overall, Ole Miss steadily widened the gap in the second half and turning a competitive possession battle into a runaway finish and reinforcing why Oxford has been a fortress all season. So good game. Hats off to Ole Miss. Did we think it was going to be any different?
No, and I think you know what else Ole Miss proved when it came to this win? they proved that they could win without Lane Kiffin. So Ole Miss deserves a lot of credit on their win over Tulane. And look, I get it. Everyone wants to see like a diversion when it comes to like the college football playoff. But I mean, I don't know if Tulane deserved to be here. I mean, don't get me wrong. They had a great season, but their first meeting against Ole Miss was Ole Miss taking them to the shed. Their second meeting was just no better. So Ole Miss wound up winning even without Lane Kiffin. The only negative about Ole Miss was that they lost Kawan Lacey to injury, and hopefully for his sake and Ole Miss's sake, he's okay and will be ready for Georgia, because that's going to be a true litmus test right there. Especially since that's going to be another familiar face that Ole Miss faced this season. So now we'll see if Ole Miss can rewrite that wrong.
Yeah, no, I get you. And we'll see if that actually happens. So, all right, Teran. Well, moving forward, we have one more game that I don't even want to spend any time on. I really don't. This game was just really sad. We need to fix this somehow. But Oregon flexes playoff muscle in Eugene, pulling away from fearless, and they really are. Bless their heart, they are fearless. Fearless James Madison team, the Dukes, with a 51-34 win to advance the college football quarterfinal. So Dante Moore was sensational, throwing for 313 yards and 4 touchdowns, while accounting for 5 total scores as the Ducks struck quickly and often. Oregon scored touchdowns on 6 of its first 7 meaningful drives, opening a commanding 34-6 halftime lead. To James Madison's credit, the Dukes never folded. Alonzo Barnett the third threw for 273 yards and 2 touchdowns, and JMU piled up for 500 yards. That's crazy, over 500 yards, repetitively answering Oregon scores in the second half. But a blocked punt returned for a touchdown, and Oregon's explosive passing game proved too much to overcome. In the end, the Ducks' balance efficiency and a home field edge sent them marching on the playoffs. I will say, if Oregon plays like that and gives up that many points, they're not going to go much further. I hope they're playing some backups in that game, or they need to fix it. JMU, valiant effort, but overall, this was a sad game.
Yeah, I mean, to James Madison's credit, they covered, but for Oregon, they just brought out the whooping stick. It was a BTA, in my opinion, and James Madison knew they needed touchdowns, and they tried to get tricky with it. They tried to match Oregon's offensive output, but it was just to no avail. So Oregon was just Oregon in this game, and I feel their defense will improve. They must have played backups once they got off to like a significant lead. So I think Oregon should be fine. Their matchup against Texas Tech is going to be interesting. I mean, it's a 4 versus 5 matchup, and who knows, maybe Oregon's offense will have another offensive output like that against Texas Tech. But it wasn't just Oregon's offense, it was their special teams as well. They blocked a punt and returned it for a touchdown. I think they almost had a kickoff return touchdown or a punt return touchdown. Oregon just pretty much checked off all the boxes when it came to this game.
They did, and that was that. I mean, just one of those games, right, Teran? It's just Oregon got. So anyway, so we got some NFL to talk about also on Saturday, but that was it for Saturday's games for bowl season. And then yesterday, we did pick this game because Teran and I were kind of funny on Saturday. We were going, and then Teran was like, wait a minute, we could talk about these tomorrow on Sunday show that we were going to have. But we actually did pick for the Potato Bowl, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that was my bad.
It's okay. That was perfect. No, that was perfect because we didn't go live yet on Sunday. So we did actually. So it's like we set it up perfectly by mistake. It was great. So we both picked Wazoo, and Wazoo won. I mean, this wasn't even a game. I feel bad. It was, but it wasn't. Utah State. There was so much there, man. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl. And you know something really cool, Teran? I was having French fries during that game. I was having French fries. It was delicious too. They were just crisp cut fries from Sam's Club, but I don't care. I would love some famous Idaho potatoes. That'd be great. But it was a great game, man. Washington State capped. Well, I mean, great. You'll see. So Washington capped its season with an emphatic bowl win, overpowering Utah State, 34-21 behind a huge offense showing in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. So quarterback Zevi Eckhouse had his best performance of the year, throwing for a season-high 334 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Cougars piled up 628 total yards of offense, which is insane. I feel like we've been saying over 600 in the last couple of games from all these different divisions, and controlled the game from start to finish. Wazoo jumped out to a 20-0 lead before halftime and never let the Aggies seriously threaten them, ever. Utah showed life in the second half, getting touchdown passes from Jacob Conover, and scores from Bryson Barnes. But the Cougars answered every push. A 39-yard touchdown pass to Landon Wright and a late 34-yard run by Julian Duggar sealed it, punctuating a dominant all-around performance. Washington State's just dominated. They finished the year at 7-6 with momentum, and Utah State closed at 6-7, struggling to slow Wazoo's tempo and explosiveness. So overall, French fry bath for Coach. Good season for Wazoo. Tough ending for Utah State.
Yeah, I feel Washington State tapped into their former Pac-12 selves and wound up controlling this game for the most part. I mean, Utah State just got off to such a slow start in the first half, and when you're playing from behind for the most part in a game, it just gets tough to win. So I think for Utah State, they did all they could, but Washington State just looked like the Washington State self from before the Pac-12 dissolved.
They did. They played well, and overall, Utah State just had no answer. It was a beatdown. So, hey, regardless, great job for Utah State for coming out and playing the way they did. Wazoo's just a better team. They, more talent. It's a good school, but overall, just a little bit of a mismatch there. So tough go for those guys. And there you go. So we got some games to preview and give our picks for later on today. Of course, coming on up today, we have as of right now, the Boca Raton Bowl is officially underway. I'm watching that on the same exact monitor in the background on my YouTube TV. 0-0 game so far. After this, coming on up today, we do have the New Orleans Bowl, which we'll get into in a little bit. And, of course, the Frisco Bowl tonight, which we'll talk about. And tomorrow we have the good old Hawaii Bowl on Christmas Eve tradition there. But before we get into those previews, Teran, we got to talk a little bit of NFL now, okay? Because, well, the NFL delivered this weekend in the craziest way. Saturday was nuts, man. Oh, my gosh. This was nuts. I gotta get a Joker laugh in there. I mean, that was good. Saturday's games were something to watch. And I can't wait to get to the Saturday night game because that was freaking insane. But I will say, the NFL, man, this weekend was it was fun. Goes without say, it was a fun one. So Thursday started us off. We talked all about Thursday, but Thursday's game was nuts with the Seahawks defeating the Rams, which was something that you were even shocked about. I think we all were. That was very wow. It was fun. It was a fun game. But the Seahawks got it done on Thursday night in a classic. On to Saturday's games. And, well, Philadelphia enters the weekend with playoff positioning and a lot on the line. How did they do? That was the question. So Philadelphia pulled away in the second half to knock off Washington, and they got it done. They win the NFC East crown for their second straight season. And after a tight first half, the Eagles leaned on ball control and timely defense and a strong running attack and put this game away. So Saquon Barkley powered the offense. Jalen Hurts delivered 2 touchdown passes, and the Eagles defense limited Washington to just 220 total yards. The win capped off a physical, emotional rivalry game where they freaking got into it, had a little brawl out there, and confirmed Philadelphia as the division champs once again. Eagles win this one 29-18. NFC East title clinched.
And it's the first repeat champion in the NFC East in over 20 years. So, yeah, this one kind of felt like an ugly game, but the Eagles were able to pull off the win. I just felt like the Eagles, look, if they play like that in against a legit opponent in that first
Yeah.
half, I don't know if the Eagles will go too far. But the Eagles do deserve some credit for showing up in the second half and just putting it all together. But again, they faced a Washington team that was pretty much just broken, that was missing Jaden Daniels, and just had an awful year. Yeah, the Eagles are the division champs. They're guaranteed a home game. It's just a matter of who they'll face come playoff time and where their seating will be.
No, very true. And that's gonna be something, man. The Eagles, I don't know. They're a weird team. On to Saturday night's game. Oh my gosh, man. In a game that looked all but over, Chicago authored a dramatic comeback to take down the Green Bay Packers at Soldier Field, trailing 16-6 with under 2 minutes left. Quarterback Caleb Williams led a clutch drive capped by a late touchdown to force overtime. From there, Williams delivered the knockout blow, hitting DJ Moore for a 46-yard walk-off score to seal the game, man. Williams finished with 225 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, showing poised beyond his years. For the first time, I think, in his career, he actually looked like a real legit. And I'm going to say that. I don't care. I've been very hard on him because, again, I'm very mad that he didn't do crap at SC for us. But at the end of the day, you know what? Good for you, dude. He actually looked like a playoff caliber type of quarterback in this game, and he played out of his freaking mind. While the Bears defense held Green Bay without a touchdown in the second half, the win moved Chicago to 11-4 and tightens the NFC North race heading into the final weeks. I'm not going to say it was all Caleb Williams at USC because our defense was freaking terrible, but at the end of the day, I just wish we could have done more with him while he was there. So whatever. But anyway, what a game.
Unbelievable comeback by the Bears, and they needed everything and more. Especially they needed an onside kick as well. So
yeah.
But if you're the Packers, you gotta feel bad for them, especially since they lost Jordan Love in the first half to a concussion. So hopefully, for their sake, they aren't as bad. It's not as bad as it seems. But now the Bears are in full control. They control their own destiny, and if they win at least one more game, they'll be the NFC North champions. Or if I think the Packers lose, they'll be the NFC North champion. So for the Packers, they're going to have to pretty much at least win one more game to guarantee them a spot in the big tournament. But hopefully the health of some of their top key guys they'll have the availability of some of their top key guys. So Green Bay is looking a little, I wouldn't say broken right now, but they're licking their wounds right now, and they have, I wouldn't say a shorter week, but actually no, they had exactly 7 days to prepare for Baltimore. So
yeah.
I think this week will be an interesting week for the Packers. I definitely think this was a game that I think the Packers let go, but the Bears deserve a lot of credit. They never folded when it mattered most, and they were able to get it done.
They do, and I think that was a huge statement victory, dude. The Bears look for real, and I can actually call them for real for the first time because I think this was very good. By the way, Louisville gets scored, so 7-0. Congratulations to those guys. Okay, so next up on to Sunday's games. These are just rapid fire, really. Bills take out the Browns 23-20. Yeah, Teran, that's a little worrisome for me. Bills make it 4 straight, but it was a very unimpressive victory. James Cook rips off 117 yards and 2 touchdowns as Buffalo holds off a gritty Cleveland push late to stay hot in the AFC playoff race. Okay, cool, good game. I guess hope they don't play like that often, because if you played the Browns like that, don't expect to get very far in the playoffs. But anyway, overall, good game in Bills Mafia.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those bleh games, if you ask me. I think Buffalo kind of got lucky. I wouldn't say lucky, but fortunate that even though Josh Allen didn't have his most explosive game, he kind of was injured. That was kind of the reason why. I think he had an ankle injury. Despite that, they were able to pull off the win and eventually punch their ticket to the postseason. So, yeah, and the Browns, well, Shedeur Sanders, I'll give him some credit, but losing Travion Henderson did not help matters.
Oh, no.
So, I'm sorry, not Travion Henderson, Kinshawn Judkins. Losing him,
That's
I
right.
think,
Judkins
really
was
hurt
there. That's
him.
right.
So yeah, it's just been one of those years for the Browns, and unfortunately, Myles Garrett didn't get the sack record, but I think he still has a few more games left.
Which is pretty awesome. So congrats to him, and just overall, again, just Bills. We'll see what they can do. But Browns, well, they're with the Raiders, so they'll be barbecuing in a couple of weeks. So Chargers statement road win. Justin Herbert throws for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns as a dominant LA team, man. I think they look great. they got down in Dallas, man. To me, the game was way worse than the score. They got it done in Arlington, man. Big time performance when it mattered most. Chargers look dominant. Cowboys look as flat as a freaking Coca-Cola has been sitting out for a week.
Yeah, I think the second half, it was a tale of two halves. First half was competitive. Both teams didn't punt, and both teams' offenses were just on one. And then in the second half, the Chargers made the adjustments defensively to help get them the win, and that was big because the Cowboys were not going to fold by any means. The Cowboys knew their playoff hopes were dashed, but they still played for pride. And I even though the Chargers' offensive line has just been awful, they did allow no sacks, which was outstanding especially for the sake of Justin Herbert, who has just been beaten up when it comes to not having the best offensive line. So the Chargers also eventually clinched a spot in the playoffs, as their defense is looking pretty good. But now they have a big test against the Texans this Saturday. So we'll see if the Chargers are up for the task.
We'll see. This is I don't know. It's a good season for the Chargers so far. Let's see what these guys do moving forward, man. So upset in Nashville, or was it an upset in Nashville? Cam Ward shines, and the Tennessee Titans overwhelm Kansas City behind a physical, mistake-free performance. But the Chiefs have no quarterbacks. They never found a rhythm. There's nothing there. Everyone's hurt now. The Chiefs just went from bad to worse. Everything's horrible. The Titans look like they got a nice win on paper, 26-9, but they just beat a really, really jacked up Chiefs team. So I guess congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, for the Titans, it's kind of a I've won, but at what cost type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the Chiefs losing Gardner Minshew was massive, especially since it's a 1-year deal for him. So, and yeah, everything is just going from bad to worse when it comes to the Chiefs. And that is the Titans' first home win in 2 seasons, which is, that's just,
gosh.
Yeah, that's like the biggest slap in the face for the Chiefs.
Oh my gosh, ew. That sucks.
This just feels like the nightmare that doesn't want to end.
Yeah, that's for damn
if you're the
sure,
Chiefs.
So. Joe Burrow puts on the clinic, 4 TD passes, and another monster day from Jamar Chase powers the Bengals past Miami, which I guess that's a win in some weird way. Whatever. Miami, they beat them down pretty good, but I mean, was it pretty good? I don't know. This is just one of those games where Miami fought. We know who Miami is. This is a garbage game, is what it is. 45-21. Bengals win this one. I have nothing else to say about it.
There are 3 things that are guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and Texas or quarterbacks from the University of Texas not winning their first start. And that's what happened with Quinn Ewers. But yeah, it's good to see Joe Burrow finally having fun and just letting it rip out there. So the Dolphins look defeated. So I knew this was going to happen. The Bengals are much better than what their record indicates. It's just that unfortunate.
Yeah, and that's a rough go. You feel for them, but alrighty, that was that one. Let's see, where are we at next? Saints and Jets. This was a weird game. Saints defeat the Jets 29-6, and it's a really awkward toilet bowl. Chris Olave goes off for 148 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the New Orleans Saints cruise their 3rd straight win. But it was over a horrible opponent, and they still suck. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, the Jets are still the Jets. The Saints have been on a little bit of a win streak, but this is just for pride.
Yeah.
That being said, I also should add that maybe Tyler Shuck could be the future quarterback of the Saints, just maybe, but again, the Saints are being bottom feeders, though the Bucs weren't really a bottom feeder. I shouldn't say that. Neither were the Panthers. So maybe Tyler Shuck's trying to fight for a starting spot next year, but it all depends. And then we also got to see Taysom Hill lead the Saints in rushing yards, which was pretty cool.
I mean, as if there was any other option. I mean, but yeah, just a weird game. This was just a weird game. Again, I don't even know. Are there any winners? I'm just kidding. All right. Next up, Vikings defeat the Giants 16-13. Not pretty, but it counts, I guess. The Minnesota Vikings grind out a road win behind a steady run game and a timely defense to extend their streak to 3. Giants continue to suck, even though that was actually a pretty decent game. Or was that the Vikings playing down to the level? I don't know what that was.
It was a heaping pile of ugliness, and it was so bad the Vikings saw J.J. McCarthy or 9 get hurt, and then they had to throw in Max Brosma. So this felt like a game where you'd rather watch paint dry.
Yes, you know what? You are totally correct. I would rather watch paint dry because that was a stupid game. So yeah, Panthers defeat the Buccaneers, and this was actually a good game. Panthers take control of the South, which is insane, but good for you, Bryce Young. I am so happy for this guy. Carolina takes control of the South. Bryce Young delivers late as the Carolina Panthers knock off Tampa Bay in a massive divisional showdown. You know what? Good for them. The Bucs had their chance. The Bucs had every chance to do this, and they didn't. So you know what? Good. They fell off. That's their fault for sucking. Good job to a team who really wants it. Congratulations to the Panthers.
Yeah, this was a big win by Carolina, winning at home. I mean, it's not out of the hands of the Bucs, but now they got to win out for the most part, just because Panthers, they have a 1-game lead, obviously, and Panthers control their own destiny. I don't know if the Panthers have the full-on tiebreaker. I mean, obviously head-to-head's out of the question, but still. I know the Bucs play the Dolphins this week, which should be a win for them. And then the Panthers have the Seahawks, which is going to be an uphill climb. So if you're Tampa, you gotta take care of business. And if you don't, then you might want to start cleaning house. And then for Carolina, if they ride the momentum to that Seattle game, I think they have a legit shot at beating Seattle. I mean, it all depends on what Seattle team they'll get. Will they get the Seattle team that plays down a competition? Will they get the Seattle team that is trying to recreate the Legion of Boom? It all depends on what the Panthers are going to be getting this week.
Agreed. Jaguars defeat the Broncos 34-20, which was crazy. Trevor Lawrence was unstoppable, 4 touchdowns in the air, lift the Jacksonville Jaguars to a huge road win in Denver. AFC race just got tighter. I loved it. It was a great game.
Absolutely. Don't look now, but the Jaguars are just red hot. Ever since they had that debacle against the Texans, they have just looked unbelievable. And the fact that they finally were the first team to beat the Broncos in Mile High is just unbelievable. So Jacksonville looks like a team that no one wants to play come the playoffs. So bravo to them. And don't look now, but the AFC West race gets interesting because now the Chargers are 1 game back of the Broncos. And the two meet with one another in Week 18. So if the Chargers can just get the job done this week, maybe we could be seeing a showdown for the AFC West crown.
Which would be nuts, right? This is crazy. And then the Jags, like, wow, seeing them play so well, good for them, good for their fan base. The Falcons knock off the Cardinals 26-19 in a bird battle. Atlanta handles business on the road. Balanced offense and timely plays from Bijan Robinson help Atlanta take down Arizona. Good for those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how Atlanta's starting to win when it does not matter the most, which is kind of funny. I mean, it sounds cruel, but it's the truth. I mean, Atlanta couldn't have started winning beforehand.
True. They could have.
Yeah.
You know what they didn't? You know what they didn't do, Darren?
What's up?
They said, you know what they didn't do?
What?
They didn't start winning beforehand.
Yeah.
Sucks. But good game. I mean, yeah, we'll see what the Falcons can do next year. But you're right. They're winning now when it doesn't even matter. Steelers survive in advance. Oh my gosh. Steelers 29, Lions 24. Jalen Warren powers Pittsburgh on the road as Pittsburgh hang on despite a furious Detroit rally. Here we go, Steelers.
Yep. Remember how I said there are a few things that are guaranteed in life? The Steelers being at least having at least a winning record under Mike Tomlin is another thing. Oh man, this was a wild ending, but the Steelers pulled it off, and I thought that the Lions were going to win just because they never dropped 2 in a row. They haven't dropped 2 straight games since the 2022 season. But the Steelers were able to defy the odds. And they do have a quarterback by the name of Aaron Rodgers, who is familiar facing the Lions. And thankfully, it didn't take a Motor City miracle for Aaron to help his team win. So, but now if you're the Lions, this is a very bad situation for them. Like, they're in a situation where they have to win out and they have to hope that the Packers lose out. So everything is just going awry for Detroit.
Isn't it fun, Teran? Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun? No, maybe not. No. Okay, maybe not for the Lions. Okay, yeah, you're right. But crazy stuff there. Moving on to the next game, which I honestly don't even want to talk about. But yeah, Teran, the Raiders lose another game because they suck. But good for the Texans. They've now won 7 straight, 23-21. But I can at least say the Raiders played decent football in this game. Thank you for at least giving Raider Nation that, Raiders. But the Texans keep rolling as they outlast Las Vegas behind clutch execution and another strong team effort. Overall, they played well. But you know what, man? I actually got to give it to the Raiders. They actually played pretty well, and I'll take that. That's all we want is competitiveness. So good game, but Texans, they get the better.
Yeah, and it's good to see the Raiders finally utilizing Ashton Genty to a T. They're actually unlocking his full potential. It's only a little too late in the season as the Texans, I didn't think the Texans would have to go down the wire with the Raiders of all teams, and that's no offense to the Raiders, obviously. But, if the Texans play like that, I don't know if they can go too far. I mean, this would have to be the year the Texans can make a deep playoff run with the Chiefs gone. But for the Raiders, I'll give it to them. They unlocked the true potential of Ashton Genty. Now it all depends on what the Raiders do the rest of the way, because next week, if you see who the Raiders play this upcoming week, you all are probably going to think that might be the most legendary game out there.
2 teams with a combined record of 4-26. Teran!
The massive toilet bowl right there.
Darren, this is the big flush. This is it. This is the one. Like, I mean, if there was ever a toilet bowl this season, this is the one. I mean, I hope that they play circus music throughout the whole game. I mean, we are going to see. And yeah, Teran, this should be the Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, Comedy Central game. I mean, Discovery Channel of how sucky they are. We have to find out. We have to, freaking do a documentary on how to figure out how they're so terrible. I mean, I don't know, but this is bad, and this is gonna be a fun game to watch. Not because it's good, because you're gonna want to laugh, and if you need a good chuckle in your life, this is the game, because you're gonna chuckle. Oh boy. I mean, it's true. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. This game's gonna be hilariously funny. So yeah. Anyway, so there you have it. On to Sunday night, man, because Sunday night was a goodie, man. Huge road win for the New England Patriots. Drake May throws for over 380 yards. And Ramondre Stevenson's late touchdown seals a gritty 28-24 victory over the Baltimore Ravens in a wild fourth quarter. I took out my beautiful wife for a nice Chili's dinner that night, and we were enjoying that one on the TV, and that was a crazy game. But victory there for the Patriots, 28-24. Dude, the Patriots are for real.
Yep, this felt like one of those wacky Sunday night football games because both teams were making mistakes left and right. For the Ravens, oh God, losing Lamar Jackson really hurt, and not utilizing Derrick Henry to the full potential also kind of hurt them as well. But the Patriots deserve a lot of credit. They were down 11 and they were able to dig their way out of that comeback.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was a massive win for the Patriots, and they punched their ticket to the postseason, and they also win. They're also still undefeated on the road, which was pretty good if you ask me. So the Patriots, I think they're starting to become for real. I mean, they still have some flaws to their game, but their last 2 games are against the Jets and the Dolphins, which are very favorable. So they could be rising back to power in terms of the AFC East. And I had a feeling we'd be seeing the Patriots making some sort of playoff push. Their rebuild wasn't too far, and I think Drake May is the man going forward for them.
Yeah, honestly, I criticized him in the beginning. I didn't think he was very good in college. I was like, he's all right. But at the end of the day, thank you for proving me wrong. Great stuff there. I like it. He's becoming him and Caleb Williams. I'm telling you, man, 2 guys that I was kind of on, but they're awesome, man. These guys are really, really, really proving their keep, man. So great players. Of course, opinions don't mean crap, especially mine. But at the end of the day, I just want to say that, I was wrong about these guys. I'm happy for them, and I'm glad they're doing some good things. So Monday Night Football. Our very own Big Mike was in the crowd, and, well, he was not very happy with what he saw because the San Francisco 49ers explode for 48 in Indy. Brock Purdy throws for 5 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey adds 3 total scores, and a 74-yard pick six puts the exclamation point on a dominant win over the Indianapolis Colts for the Niners. 48-27. The Niners looked okay. They looked pretty good. The Colts, another start where they look like they're going to be competitive, and then just a massive nosedive. I mean, some people would say that it's better off just being a Raider or a Jet fan where you know what you're getting all season and you just know they suck, versus to get your hopes up so high and then just take this massive fall. So what are your thoughts, Teran?
Yeah, this is kind of expected. I feel that the Niners, they just have a little bit more of a complete package offensively. And this was the first time we've seen a San Francisco 49ers quarterback throw for 5 touchdowns since I think Steve Young did so in Super Bowl 29 against the Chargers. So, yeah, for the Colts, I really do feel bad for them. And this game wasn't all on Phillip Rivers. Like, it was the defense that really hurt them. And even though the Colts, and this loss for the Colts helped the Jaguars, Chargers, and Bills clinch playoff spots. So the Colts, on the other hand, they're not quite eliminated from playoff contention, but now the Colts have to win out, and then they have to hope that the Texans lose out, which I don't think is likely. I mean, the Colts have the Jaguars, which are red hot. And then after that, in Week 18, they've got the Texans, and it's no guarantee that the Texans will lose it to the Chargers in Week 17. So, God, you got to feel bad for the Colts. I mean, they had a 98% chance of making the playoffs after they went 8-2, and now they have lost 5 straight, and now they're on the doorstep of missing the playoffs yet again.
When it rains, it pours. I don't even know what to say. This is weird. They're such a weird team, dude. So, all right, guys. So we're here pretty much to the end of the show. So we're going to flip it back to the FBS right now. This game is pretty good. The Boca Raton Bowl right now. Louisville leads 7-0, basically at the end of the half here. We got about 38 seconds up flag. So let's see what goes on here. But let's go ahead and conclude this thing, Teran, and get on to these previews for these bowl games coming on up. Obviously, we already previewed the game that's going on right now. Boca Raton Bowl. Let's get on to the other games for today and give some quick previews, give some picks, and then get on for the NFL games for this week, especially our NFL Christmas. Quick picks, and then we will see everybody Friday morning, man. So, all right, Teran, here we go, man. New Orleans Bowl. We have the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers at 8-4. Southern Miss Golden Eagles 7-5 coming up in a little bit. So this one has track meet potential. Okay, West Kentucky brings a pass-heavy offense that spreads defenses thin, while Southern Miss counters with a more balanced approach led by Billy Wiles. This is how you say his name. Replacement quarterback for Brock Braxton, who has delivered consistency and explosiveness. So Western Kentucky, their ability to win one-on-one outside could stress a Southern Miss secondary that's been vulnerable at times. But the Golden Eagles' physicality up front and ability to control tempo inside the Superdome gives them a slight edge. So expected momentum. a lot of momentum swings, chunk plays in a game that comes down to late execution. So the key question for this one for me is can Western Kentucky protect long enough to let its receivers win downfield? This is a tough game for me to pick, but points should come in bunches in the Superdome. Really, it's Western Kentucky's aerial attack versus Southern Miss's balance setup. One of the sneakiest bowls of the sneaky good bowl seasons, I think, of bowl season, bowl games of bowl season. This is a tough one, but I don't know, dude. I gotta take the Hilltoppers. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm taking Western Kentucky too. I think Western Kentucky should be able to handle Southern Miss. I mean, if you compare the body of work, I think Western Kentucky has a better body of work. So, give me them Hilltoppers.
Yeah, I'm with you here. It should be a good game, dude. It's be a really fun game. I like it, but yeah, I think Hilltoppers will take this one. And then later on today, the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. UNLV Rebels at 10-3, Ohio Bobcats at 8-4. One of the most intriguing group of 5 matchups of the bowl season. UNLV arrives with confidence after a 10-win campaign led by Anthony Calandria, whose ability to extend plays stresses defenses horizontally and vertically. The Rebels want tempo, space, and early points. Ohio counters with one of the nation's most productive backs in Sia Bangura, I believe they say his name, and aiming to shorten the game and limit possessions. If the Bobcats can establish the run and keep Calandria off schedule, they have a real path to an upset. If not, UNLV's speed could turn this into a quick shootout quickly. So my key question is, can Ohio's run game slow down UNLV's pace and explosive passing attack? This is a fun one. Speed versus power in Frisco. UNLV's explosive offense meets Ohio's bruising run game in a must-watch G5 clash. Personally, this is a really fun game for me. A hard one to pick. But since we're going back and forth, I obviously, want to make sure we're doing our picks back and forth. So, Teran, who are you taking for this game?
I'm going to take UNLV. I think UNLV's offense will prove to be just enough against Ohio.
Yeah, I'm with you. I really like I like UNLV a lot, but I just feel that I don't know. I like Ohio a lot, but I feel UNLV is a little bit better. So there you go for the rest of the day. And then tomorrow we're gonna have I'll go to the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl, the Christmas Eve tradition. Golden Bears come in at 7-5. Hawaii, the Rainbow Warriors at 8-4. The Christmas Eve showdown features 2 teams that thrive in different ways. California leads on balance and discipline, led by Jaden Sagapolite. I believe. How do you say his name, Darren? Sagapolutele. Sorry, bro. I feel bad for butchering your name, but great quarterback. But who has quietly put together a strong season distributing the ball and limiting mistakes. And the Golden Bears want to control tempo, establish Caden Raphael on the ground for sure, and keep drives alive to wear Hawaii down. However, Hawaii, meanwhile, is at its best when games turn loose and emotional, especially at home. So the Rainbow Warriors feed off the energy of the Honolulu crowd, man, and boast one of the more dangerous playmakers in the group of 5. We have Jared Harris, who can flip the game with a single catch. So if Hawaii can create early momentum and force Cal into a faster pace, the home side has the edge. So travel, humidity, and atmosphere matters here. Hawaii has all of that working in its favor, but Cal's structure and physicality make this a true toss-up late in the fourth quarter. So the key question for me is, can Cal impose its methodical style, or does Hawaii's speed and home field energy take over? Christmas Eve football in paradise. Cal's balance meet Hawaii's home field magic in a true toss-up under the island lights. Even though it's not really lights, it's in the afternoon for them. 2 p.m. Hawaii time. Who you got?
I'm going to take Hawaii to win this one. I think I think I read somewhere that this is Hawaii's head coach's last game before he rides off into the sunset. So I'll take the Rainbow Warriors. I think Cal's a little, even though Cal had some chaos in the ACC, I think Hawaii is going to play hard for their coach, and they're going to win this one.
That's a good game. I'm gonna go Hawaii. Really? Where did you hear that at?
I just kept reading it all over the Twitterverse and seeing all these articles.
Oh, well, congratulations, coach, on a great career. But that's amazing, man. Wow, crazy. Was not expecting that one, but okay. Well, that's man, I mean, hey, things happen, right? I mean, I just recently read the other day that MTV is ending, Teran.
Yep.
That's crazy. A station. There we go. Sorry, I lost you, bro. Like, wait a minute, I hit my stupid little audio here. There we go. Can you hear me? Sorry. You got me?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, man, freaking started my mom's era and ended in my era. I mean, a little bit past my era, I guess. I'm in my 30s now, but whatever. But anyway, crazy, man. But it's crazy what you read. So, all right, Darren, we're almost out of here. We're previewing our games. Like I said, we will see you guys back on Friday morning. We got some NFL games to cover. And then Friday morning, before we get into the 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the game above Sports Bowl, Central Michigan and Northwestern starting us off that day. But there you go. So let's go ahead and get back into the NFL, get some quick previews for our NFL games coming on up. We have 3 Christmas games, and then we are out of here, man. So really fun show as always, man. Thank you for jumping on here midweek. Let's close this thing out right and talk about those NFL games. Get some nice little previews in here and get our picks. It's kind of cool this year. It's on a Thursday too. It's like Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? It's like Thanksgiving this year. We get our 3 games on there as well. So all right, Darren. So first game, early game. This is on Netflix, by the way. 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Northwest Stadium in Landover, Maryland. The Dallas Cowboys look to keep their playoff push alive as they visit the Washington Commanders on Christmas morning or afternoon. Dak Prescott is having one of the best seasons of his career, which is crazy, but he is. I mean, not bad against Dak. It's just, I just wish the rest of the team would follow him. Supported by a powerful run game and explosive receiving corps. So Washington has struggled defensively all season and will need a near perfect performance to keep pace with Dallas's firepower. So Christmas Day kicks off with some NFC East action. The Cowboys playoff urgency into DC as Dak Prescott leads one of the league's hottest offenses, but a defense needs a lot of work against the Commanders. Teran, who you taking?
This one's a no-brainer. Dallas by a mile.
I was trying to make it sound cool, Teran. I really was, but I guess that was a failed effort because it's kind of jacked up, but it's true, man. I don't know. I don't see this one going any other way. Do you feel bad for the Commanders after falling off a cliff from last year?
Yeah, I kind of do, just because there was a lot of hype surrounding them, and they kind of went all in terms of like getting a bunch of veteran guys, and now it's not panning out.
It's not. It's really sad. I feel for these guys, man. It's rough. It really is. But there you go. So yeah, Cowboys all day, not even close. Next up, 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, also on Netflix, US Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Detroit Lions continue their NFC North run with a road test against the Minnesota Vikings. Jared Goff is playing efficient, mistake-free football at the moment, while Detroit, I mean, not really mistake-free, but he's, playing okay. While Detroit's offense has been relentless all season. So Minnesota is tough at home, but will need to slow down Detroit's balance and win the turnover battle to stay competitive. So NFC North showdown on Christmas. This one should be fun. Who are you taking?
Well, this one's basically do or die for the Lions. They have to win, otherwise they are out of the playoffs. So I'm going to pick the Lions. There's no way they drop 3 in a row, though.
Yeah, I really want to see the Lions win. I feel like Minnesota has an extremely good chance of winning this because obviously the Lions have not played up to par at all, and it's been very disappointing watching them recently. But I feel they will redeem themselves. I will pick them too, but I'm not going to be surprised if the freaking Vikings pull this one off. And if that's the case, the Lions and the Commanders last year were the surprise teams. Really, the Commanders more than the Lions, because we all knew the Lions were on the up and up. But yeah, dude, when it comes down to it, I the Vikings are out. They're going to be trying to play spoiler. They're going to give one hell of a run. This is going to be a really good game, I think. It should be, at least. But overall, the Lions should overcome. And then on to this last game, Teran. Thursday night football on Christmas night. 5:15 p.m. Pacific, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. This would have been a really good game had the Chiefs not started downward spiraling in the middle of the season, and then Mahomes getting hurt and he's out for the year, and just everything bad happening to the Chiefs at once. You feel bad for him, but and the Broncos obviously playing really, really well. This would have been like a dime freaking. This would have been an amazing game on Christmas night. Unfortunately, it's not. It's. I mean, we'll see if they can play spoiler, but the Chiefs just got killed by the Titans, so I don't know if it's going to go any way but the Broncos' way, but I'll give a little preview and try to make it sound fun. So the Broncos cap off Christmas night with the commanding presence against the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, Bo Nix has Denver rolling while the defense continues to suffocate opponents. They were doing really well. Kansas City has struggled to generate consistently, and faces an uphill battle against one of the league's most competitive teams. Christmas night football on Arrowhead. I want to make it sound cool. I want to make it sound competitive. But if this is anything less than a blowout for the Broncos, I just don't see it. I think a lot of people, honestly, Teran, I think a lot of tickets were either sold or just people just aren't going to go because why? I mean, why? You're going to go on Christmas night out in the cold to see your team get destroyed? I don't see this game going any other way. What do you think?
Even though I would love to see the Kansas City Chiefs without Patrick Mahomes beat the Denver Broncos, I have to go with the Broncos just because the Broncos just look like more so of a complete team. I know they had that hiccup against the Jaguars, but the Jaguars are playing some great ball. I can't imagine the Broncos losing to a third-string quarterback. So give me Denver, but I'm obviously rooting for the Chiefs.
Yeah, me too. I would love it. It'd be great to see it, but there you have it. So, Teran, my gosh, that is that. I know I always say an hour, and guess what? It doesn't really happen, but cue the music. We're out of here. Out of here for the day. Let's do it. We have a good one. We have a great lineup coming up again. You guys heard it. We got some great football coming up today. Enjoy it right now. Boca Raton Bowl, Toledo and Louisville is a lot of fun. Again, later on in just a little bit, New Orleans Bowl, Western Kentucky, Southern Miss. Scooters, Coffee, Frisco Bowl, UNLV, Ohio later on tonight. Tomorrow, please enjoy the Christmas Eve tradition. The Sheraton Hawaii Bowl, Cal in Hawaii. 3 great games on Christmas Day. Cowboys, Commanders, Lions, Vikings, and we'll see how good the Broncos Chiefs can be. Teran and I will be back sometime Friday morning before 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern. That's where we will have the game above Sports Bowl, Central Michigan and Northwestern. We'll also have that same day the Rate Bowl in New Mexico and Minnesota. Should actually be a really good game. I'm looking forward to that one. And then the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl later on that night. Florida International taking on UTSA. So plenty of games coming on up, Teran. We got that. We got some Saturday. Got a bunch of good Saturday games coming on up. My gosh, just so many good games coming our way. No championships this week, but some good football, some more NFL coming on up this weekend. Texans and Chargers. My gosh, it's going to be fun. Ravens and Packers. That's do or die, I feel like, too. So, Teran, with that said, it's been a fun show. Anything you want to throw out there? Any last thoughts, comments, words? Anything we left out? Give it to us.
I think we've covered pretty much everything. Happy holidays to everybody.
Absolutely. Happy holidays to all of you. This is our last time on air before Christmas. So, Merry Christmas to you all. Remember, put God first. Keep God in your hearts. Can't go wrong. Keep doing what you got to do, y'all. You guys are amazing. Appreciate you all for tuning in. All 429 of you so far today. We appreciate you guys in your busy holiday shopping out there. Put this into your schedule. You guys are amazing. So, with that said, Teran, my gosh, I can't believe it. We've already crowned a NJCAA Division III champ. a 3C 2A champ, an NJCAA Division I champ. We are on to the final coming up in Division III. We crowned a Division II champ. We crowned an NAIA champ. We crowned a high school football champ. And now awaiting the Division III championship coming up, the Stag Bowl, the FCS championship coming on up, and of course, the college football playoff continues. And the NFL playoffs, well, they're coming. They're lurking. But we're getting to the fun stuff here. The playoffs before the playoffs. For Teran Rodriguez, from me, your boy Larry B, we will see you Friday morning. Until then, take care, Merry Christmas, and God bless.
Peace.
Peace.